Hey guys, it's Eric from eBike, and today I have the Powerider Thunder. That's right, so this is the latest offering. It's meant to be like a mountain bike that's used for, I guess, commuting or the trails, just the casual stuff. So nothing downhill or anything. So keen to get this tested, so let's get into it. Alright, so before we get onto that, let's do the unboxing. Alright, so the unboxing of the Powerider. Cool, I like that logo. Alright, I need scissors. Okay. Here you have the seat post and the saddle. So yeah. Looks like kind of like a cross-country type bike. Oh, I love that. User manual, pedals. Guessing that's a charger? No, charger. Gotta take the thing out. Yeah. Actually, I probably should break that box.
A little bit of running, but
Just gonna pump up the tires. Thought I'd give it a little spin. Put the GoPro on as well. It's a really smooth bike. Wow, passes on one. Dude, that's 6. Hey! Woo! Straight off the bat, I just gotta say, this is a really big bike. Like, I don't know what the exact size is, but I'd say it's pretty big, probably something close to a large. We can all agree that the price of living has gone up. So when adding something like an electric bike to our lives, we want the best value. And this is where the Powerider Thunder comes in. Targeted towards consumers looking for form and function across the road and trails, Powerider aims to provide us with versatility. Whether you need an e-bike for commuting to work or for some fun on the weekend, the Thunder aims to do it all. Released only in a black colorway, the Thunder maintains a simple aesthetic with green accents throughout the aluminum frame and the logo slapped on both sides. The bike is styled like your typical mountain bike with cross-country geometry, where the small mid-drive motor alongside the relatively stealthy battery blends the electrical components with the bike. Now this all sits on the large 29-inch wheels that are wrapped in Kenda rubber. These are your standard Kenda cross-country tires for fast and smooth rolling. Powerider have stated they can upgrade your tires to Schwab if you want to with your purchase. Now if we look at the front wheel, we can find 180mm disc brakes to stop you. The rears are fitted with 160mm disc rotors, but both sets are Tektro or Riga e-comp brakes. These are electric bike friendly brakes with brake cutoff sensors to stop the motor when the brakes are engaged. They are also hydraulic that use mineral oil, which will help with the braking power and responsiveness. And like usual, I'll show you how they perform. Powerider looks to please with the BWO motor fitted at the cranks. Barely noticeable from a distance, the crank-driven motor is capable of a nominal 350 watts and is powered by a 36-volt battery, which, might I add, is 14 amp hour. This capacity has become the standard over the earlier common 10 amp hour bikes. It's capable of providing a range up to 80 kilometers, which should be enough for your typical commute to work and back home with some spare juice left for some fun. Powerider have quoted that the Thunder can reach a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour, which can be limited to 25 kilometers per hour through the C600E LCD meter. By holding down the set button, the settings can be accessed where you can set your speed limit. Additionally, the modes such as Power, Normal, and Eco can be selected through the operation panel. This feature will adjust the controller's output to favor performance or battery capacity. And obviously, normal will be the balance of the two. This is fairly simple and easy to use, with Powerider providing a manual on how to use it with their bikes. Aside from these settings, the meter will display the usual information such as speed, battery level, and odometer. To soften up your rides, the Thunder is equipped with a Velo Sport saddle and SR Suntour forks. I found this combination to be fairly comfortable with the rides I went on. The saddle was plush and the 100mm travel forks provided adequate damping. This is meant to be a hybrid sport/commuter bike, hence the setup is entry level, but more than anything it's appropriate considering the purpose and price of the e-bike. This goes for the drivetrain components as well, with the shifters, cassette and derailleur sourced from the Shimano Astra and Elevia group set. Additional accessories and features included is the kickstand and boost button. So I was lucky enough to test the Thunder for a while due to the bad weather and a cyclone.
Oh, don't worry, I've been in some nasty storms.
Unfortunately, this meant it delayed my filming and the release of this video, but I guess they gave me more time with the e-bike, which I'm honestly not complaining about because it was a pleasure to ride. After a while, I found myself riding the bike just for fun instead of riding it to review. So this just goes to show what a pleasure this bike is to use. The controls are simple, and if you do want more advanced settings, the manual details all these settings for the LCD meter panel. Now the unboxing and setup of the bike was your standard, so fairly straightforward and simple, but I did have some delays. The first being the lines of the front brakes. I thought they were twisted as they ran underneath the down tube instead of in front as the lever was on the right. This saw me spend extra time on taking off the grips and the brake lever to bring it around the front. It wasn't until after I realized I could have just turned my forks around before putting the handlebars on. I did think of that during my unboxing, but I must have had a mental blank because I thought it wouldn't work at the time, hence I didn't do it. Thought I'd share that with you guys so you don't run into that issue with yours. Now my second delay was from the battery being turned off. I tried turning on the Thunder after the battery was put in, but it didn't turn on. I knew most batteries had an onboard switch, but this was so tiny I overlooked it, and I struggled for a good half an hour to get the bike going. But eventually I found it, so here it is guys. If you've got the Thunder or you're going to get one, check the switch if your bike isn't turning on. Okay, there's something really interesting about the Thunder. So, you know, when you first hop onto it, and then you backpedal, you're probably gonna notice it's silky smooth. And then you're gonna realize, watch that free wheel, it doesn't spin. The free wheel is actually inside the motor, so they've inbuilt it. Yes, that's really interesting. That's something I haven't seen yet. So yeah, thought I'd point that out to you guys. Or if you guys do get this bike and you see this, you don't think it's a problem. So that is just normal, and it's actually really smooth. Like, it just keeps on spinning. And I mean, this translates into when you're riding the bike as well. The motor is silky smooth, pretty quiet as well, you know, for mid-drive. So yeah, BWO. Much like the Akla A kit that I have reviewed, the bike's assistant starts off minimal and ramps up to provide a smooth linear feeling, much like a torque-based sensor, even though that this uses a speed sensor. This could be a good thing or bad thing depending on your preference, but for me, and considering the use of this bike, I think it's a good thing. Now you may be wondering what this is, or you might have guessed it, a throttle, right? No, you're incorrect. Well, it is a throttle, but I would rather call it a boost trigger. Other e-bikes possess a throttle that works from standstill. However, with the Thunder, it works more as a boost, where once you're riding and moving, the activation of the trigger will see you speed up to maximum pedal assistance. So I assume when you're riding and there's a hill, instead of turning up the pass, you can just push the trigger. Again, this could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your preference. I personally like to have a throttle that will work from standstill to help me in difficult situations, but I can see the boost having some fans. Now there are some setbacks with this bike, and I'll begin with the size. It's unfortunately one size. It's quoted to be the size of 19 inches, which is generally considered large and would most likely fit the male demographic. I'm 6'4" and I found this bike to be a perfect fit for me, so to those female riders out there, you might have to pass up on this one, but Powerider do offer other bikes with smaller frame sizes. Another issue with the bike, well, actually the battery, is that you can't charge it while the battery is on the bike. According to Powerider, there were some changes in the design that resulted in an assembly error that doesn't allow the charger to charge the battery through this port. Thus, to charge a Thunder, you need to remove the juice pack first. This is just a small problem and definitely not a deal breaker, but Powerider have stated there may be fixes to this in the future. So, Powerider has recently overhauled their design and management, and as a result produced this Thunder. Their aim was to target consumers that want the best of both worlds by providing a versatile bike, and frankly, I think they have achieved that. The bike retails at $2,600 and features a mid-drive motor, 14 amp hour Samsung cell batteries and hydraulic brakes. This is the definition of value. The bike is comfortable, easy to use, and comes with super smooth performance. With only a few setbacks being the one size, the lack of the battery charging while the battery is on the bike, I think Powerider have produced a well-rounded, successful bike. So that wraps up the review. Thanks for watching guys, and make sure to check out the full review on our website ebikingnow.com. If you like what you saw, please give us a thumbs up. Also, if you have any comments or questions, drop them down below. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date with the latest. And don't forget to turn on, hop on, and ride on. Peace out.